hope you've already seen it, because I have. Now let's talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah! I got my awesome friend Jordan here off to the side. Just ignore me if I start looking that way. Don't ignore me. Listen to me. Supernatural Season 1, Episode 2, The Wendigo. Not Wendigo. I just want to start off by saying that this is why I don't camp. I don't want to get eaten by anything. Real possibility, as we just saw in this episode. We see Sam going to visit his girlfriend's graveyard, plot in the graveyard. I hear a lot about haunted cemeteries. A lot of people ask me, are cemeteries really a place where people still linger? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. If that's where you feel it's best to talk to your loved ones, that's totally fine. It's up to you. That's the best part about ghosts, is that they're everywhere. We do see, again, the different disappearances start happening every 23 years, just like we heard in the first episode. There's kind of an ebb and flow to paranormal activity, and apparently to monsters hibernating. Skinwalkers are a Native American legend. They're present in the tribes throughout North America. Most popularly in the Navajo stories, they're usually magic workers that work a different kind of dark magic, and a lot of times they have to have the actual animal pelt in order to become this animal. It's a really interesting story, and I kind of got a little too far down the rabbit hole in my research. But I will talk about that later, because there is an episode later this season with the Skinwalker. Talk about a black dog as a possibility for this episode's monster. Black dogs are really cool. If you're all Harry Potter fans, you all know the Grimm, the Hound of the Baskervilles, all those different very English legends of the hound wandering the moor that attacks people. For the most part, they're usually spectral hounds. They're not actually a physically present dog. They just are a ghost that attacks and scares people. Dean's huge bag of peanut butter M&Ms is my favorite thing ever, because I freaking love peanut butter M&Ms. And I want to carry them with me every single time I go hiking now, just in case I get kidnapped by a monster. Since it's obviously very helpful. The boys talk about how, eerily quiet it gets whenever the Wendigo is nearby. I thought that was really fascinating, because it is something that you hear a lot when people are hunting cryptids. And it's true for any predator, because no animal wants to purposely get caught by a predator. I mean, come on. The Wendigo mimics the calls of its prey, so it starts calling for help and sounding very human. It is a thing that a lot of hunters do. Even human hunters, you practice your duck calls in order to get your ducks to come near you. I've never heard it called a Wendigo before. It's a Wendigo. That's always what I grew up hearing. I have since looked it up, and there are apparently lots of pronunciations. Nobody was able to exactly tell me why there were so many different versions of it, but there were. Tomato, tomato, Wendigo, Wendigo. The Cree Indians were the people that believed in the Wendigo for the most part. They were located commonly in the northwest of the northern part of North America, kind of the Great Lakes region, and to parts of Canada, and out even into parts of Washington. I have had one person tell me that a Wendigo was responsible for the loss of the first colony at Roanoke. Stranger things have happened. But that's another episode. Wendigo is commonly described as a half-spirit-like creature with lots of supernatural abilities. This legend was told as a way to deter people from the ultimate sin of eating human flesh, because only in consuming amounts of human flesh do you slowly become a Wendigo. Some legends it's very quickly, and sometimes it's over an amount of time. The hungrier you get, the more you eat of it. As far as I know, none of the Donner Party is Wendigos. I'm just going to switch back and forth between how I say all of this. Can't get her shit straight. There's even a Wendigo psychosis that people can get. It happens when humans start craving human flesh, and it's actually named after this creature. Some people told me it's not even a real disorder, but I feel like it must be, because Renfield syndrome is a disorder and stuff, which is also based on something entirely fictional, not just a native legend. Hannibal Lecter syndrome, though, guys. Sorry. But maybe Hannibal Lecter is a Wendigo. He does seem kind of paranormal. Wendigos are usually associated with the winter time, when famine is its strongest, food sources run out. That's when you have to switch to human flesh. It's the very worst that can happen to you. Wendigos are usually described as very skinny, with horns, just like on the Hannibal TV show, The Wendigo. Not that I've seen that, I just know that's a thing. Sorry, I promise I'll watch that next. Anasazi symbols to ward off the Wendigo. Anasazi people, they were the native tribes to the Four Corners region, most commonly was their area. Why Anasazi symbols would ward off a Wendigo, I'm not entirely sure. but don't question what works, right? Plenty of legends of supernatural cannibals with supernatural abilities. You have the Hansel and Gretel's witch. You have the Russian Baba Yaga, which Supernatural should do an episode with that, because that's a cool story. Lamia, I think I'm saying that right, correct me if I'm wrong, who was a Greek princess that apparently liked eating children. She was faced during the Odyssey. There is no way to get rid of a Wendigo. Nobody could tell me a good way to get rid of a Wendigo. Anasazi symbols aren't going to help you. You're just run as far away as you can and pray to whatever you believe in, guys. I'm sorry to disappoint. But, like with most of the supernatural stories, it's either a simple solution or there's nothing at all. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed watching me. Keep up with episode 2. I hope I'm getting a little better as we go. Be sure to follow, right? Is that follow? Subscribe, thank you. Be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube. If you're interested in more paranormal news, check out our website, whatsyourghoststory.com. Follow me on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on everything. I will just put that all down in the section thing. Peace out, bitches!